O Master, be merciful unto us, and give us the shade of your lotus feet. May your fame be spread all over the three worlds. We take shelter of your lotus feet, Srila Prabhupada. Patita Pavana Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Namo Vishnupadaya. Gauravam.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. We continue reading the Srimad Bhagavatam, reading the 5th canto, 3rd chapter, Rishabhadeva's appearance. Text number 10. Yes, because it's a difficult shloka, I'll just chant it by myself and we'll do the word-for-word translation. The meter is not right. Atayam eva varo ya ahatama yahi bahishi rajese varadarishabho bhavanija purukshana vishaya ashit. Ata, then, I am, this, eva, certainly, varaha, benediction, he, indeed, ahatama, almost worshipable of the worshipable, yahi, because Bahisi in the sacrifice, Raja Rishe of King Nabi, Varadarishabaha, the best of the benefactors, Bhavan, your lordship, Nija Purusha, of your devotees, Ikshana Vishayaha, the object of the sight, Asit, has become. Translation and purports by Jared Guru Srila Prabhupada. O most worshipable of all, you are the best of all benefactors, and your appearance at saintly King Nabi's sacrificial arena is meant for our benediction. Because you have been seen by us, you have bestowed upon us the most valuable benediction. Please repeat. O most worshipable of all.
O most worshipful of all.
You are the best of all benefactors.
You are the best of all benefactors.
And your appearance at saintly King Nabi's sacrificial arena is meant for our benediction. Because you have been seen by us. You have bestowed upon us the most valuable benediction. Nija Purusha Ikshana Vishaya. In Bhagavad Gita 9:29, Krishna says, Samoham Sarvabhutesu. I envy no one, nor am I partial to anyone. I am equal to all. But whosoever renders service unto me in devotion is a friend, is in me, and I am also a friend to him. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is equal to everyone. In that sense, he has no enemies and no friends. Everyone is enjoying the fruitive reactions of his own work, and the Lord within everyone's heart is observing and giving everyone the desired result. However, just as the devotees are always anxious to see the Supreme Lord satisfied in every way, similarly the Supreme Lord is very anxious to present himself before his devotees. Shri Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 4:8, Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya chatuskritam dhamma samstapanataya sambhavami yuge yuge. To deliver the pious and to annihilate the miscreants, as well as to re-establish the principles of religion, I advent myself millennium after millennium. Thus, Krishna's appearance is for the deliverance and satisfaction of his devotees. Actually, he does not advent himself simply to kill the demons, for that can be done by his agents. Lord Vishnu's appearance at the sacrificial arena of Maharaj Nabi was just to please the king and his assistants. Otherwise, there was no reason for his being present there. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapatantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuttapada Kamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sarvadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sutta Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavinebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langaite Girim Yakripa Tamaham Vande Shri Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Vishwaram Jai Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Ki Translation. O most worshipable of all, you are the best of all benefactors, and your appearance at saintly King Nabi's sacrificial arena is meant for our benediction. Because you have been seen by us, you have bestowed upon us the most valuable benediction. The background is that King Nabi and Queen Mary Devi wanted a child. Specifically, they wanted a son. And so they followed the ritualistic sacrifices. They were performing a yajna. And for that, they engaged many brahmanas. By performing that sacrifice, then Lord Vishnu was pleased and he appeared there. Upon his appearance, the assistants, the brahmanas, begin to offer prayers to the Supreme Lord. And today's prayer, they acknowledge that the Lord is the best of all benefactors. That he gives the needs, he supplies the needs of everyone. Everyone is taking some benefit, getting some advantages from him. And that his appearance at this sacrificial arena is to benedict those who were present there, especially the king. That there is nothing really for the Lord to gain by appearing there, but simply he has come to benedict those who are there, like the sun. The sun is appearing, and there's not really any particular gain for the sun to rise and go across the sky, but whoever is seeing the sun benefits from the sun. Because of the sun, then the eyes are able to provide vision. The vegetables, the plants, the human beings, they derive heat from the sun. And in that way, they can maintain their lives. From fire, yagya is performed. We know from the Bhagavad Gita that by performance of yagya, the demigods are pleased. When they are pleased, then they give rains. Rains give grains. Grains means full belly. It's generally the basic happiness of every living being, is food in the stomach. If we will announce now that actually there's a fast. Yes, some, like Jamuna will say Haribol for now. But if this is a dry fast till Sunday, yeah, I'm sure devotees would find some other ways to get prasadam. First of all, you didn't announce this fast, and this is not what we signed up for, starvation. So the Lord is the benefactor of everyone. This is acknowledged by the devotees. Not everyone acknowledges this. Some people want to acknowledge material nature because they don't understand whose nature it is. Then they imbue material nature with all potency. That somehow dead matter is able to supply everything for everyone. They will not credit the Supreme Person. They say, you have been seen by us. Because of this, you have bestowed upon us the most valuable benediction. And Srila Prabhupada begins his purport by making the point that Krishna is equal to everyone. The Lord is equal to everyone. Someone may ask, what type of equality is this? Because we see on the battlefield of Kurukshetra that it seems like Krishna took sides. He took the side of Arjuna, not the side of Duryodhana. So what type of equality is this? Krishna himself says, I envy no one, nor am I partial to everyone. He declares that I am equal to all. So let us analyze the situation at Kurukshetra to see, is Krishna really equal to all? Is he impartial, or is he partial to others? First, Krishna offered himself and his army for this war. Duryodhana, he wanted the army. He thought, how useless, one Krishna versus however Akshayini his army is. It's a no-brainer, I'll take the army. Arjuna, he decided that Krishna was enough. So of the two, one understood who Krishna really was, and the other couldn't understand who Krishna is. Because Krishna says, I'm equal to all, but whoever renders service unto me in devotion is a friend, is in me, and I'm also a friend to him. So we see that the equality of Krishna is that, like a responsible father provides all facility for the children, but depending on the children's disposition, some may follow the rules and regulations of the father, may cooperate with the father, and other kids may rebel against the father. Even at some point, they may develop enmity for the father. So we can see in the situation of Krishna that the devotees, they are happy to follow the guidelines of the Supreme Lord. They are happy to render service to Krishna. But there are also other children of God who couldn't care less about God. They have also a very nice term. No, I don't believe or disbelieve in God. I'm like in the middle. They're called agnostics. I'm on the fence on the matter. So don't try to tell me to follow God because I don't believe in God. But at the same time, I don't say that there is no God. So they try to be neutral in the matter. But when we consider, are they neutral in getting the facilities from God? I won't breathe this oxygen because I don't know who really supplied it. Is there really God to supply this? I don't care for the sun and the moon. I don't care for the vegetables. Everyone takes benefit, but to reciprocate, not everyone does. And then there's another group who actually create enmity with God. There is no God. In fact, they get offended by the idea that there's God. What a primitive idea. Who came up with this? They say there's a man in the sky, like the spaghetti monster. So many derogatory names they may give. And they will also write books, try to kill the conception of God with their intelligence. And many people fall for this and join the group of the atheistic, the enemies of God. One type of atheism is called impersonalism, Mayavad. That they will acknowledge there's a supreme being, but he is an impersonal energy. And not only that he's there as an impersonal energy, I am also that supreme. So they artificially create an equality between themselves and God, while divorcing God of his personal feature. He has no form, no hands, no legs, no eyes. He is just an all-pervading energy, a light, a vibration. So because of the different dispositions of individuals, this results in how their conceptions about the existence of God are shaped. So Krishna says, those who are rendering service unto me in devotion, I'm a friend to them, because devotion means they acknowledge the personality of God. There's a person there and they're trying to serve that person. Those who say, I don't exist, well, I give them the necessity to stay alive, but there's no relationship. Because relationship means service. So his equality is that, like the responsible father takes care of all, but his impartiality becomes partiality due to the relationship of service. So therefore the paradox that Krishna is impartially partial. How is he impartially partial? We have just explained that as the laws of nature, Maya Dakshaina Prakriti Suyate Sacharachara, Hetunanina Kontea Jagat Viparivatite. All moving and unmoving things, they come from him. He is indirectly controlling everything. So the laws of nature, action and reaction, they deal with everyone impartially. It's a machine that just keeps on grinding. You put a coin you get the product out of the vending machine. It doesn't matter if you are an atheist, impersonalist, agnostic, theistic. If you put the right amount of money in the vending machine, you should get the product that you. So every action is giving a reaction. However, the partiality comes there that whoever invites the Lord for a relationship, then the laws of nature are no longer just acting on them, but then the Lord, who is in charge of all material functions, he particularly enters the scene and adjusts the calm. Papa, to give an example of a man can be famous as a charitable person and also a lover of children. So he loves children, and there's some children at a kindergarten. His children also go there. If the kindergarten is on fire and the man runs in and saves his own kids, who will blame him? Oh, you said you love children, but how come you only saved your children? Because it's his own children. Naturally, his heart flows in affection for his own kids. And when there's danger, he will save his children first. And that doesn't mean he doesn't love children, but it just means that he loves his children more. And it's just, the law of nature is like that. So, Krishna also, all living beings are his parts and parcels. Mama Bangso Jivaloke Jivaputa Sanatana. He says everyone is his part and parcel. And so he provides for everyone. But we find that some, as the verse says here, Paritranaya Sadunam Vinashaya Chajuskritam Dharma Samstapanata Sambhavami Yuge Yuge. It reveals the mission of Krishna. Why does he come into the material world? So Dharma, religious principles, here it's translated. Samstapanataya. Samstapa is like he is establishing. He has come to establish the positive religious principles. Why he establishes religious principles? To protect the conditioned souls from gliding further into entanglement with Maya. Even they could glide further to the lower planetary systems or lower species of life. So Krishna wants everyone to rise and slowly exit this material world. So those individuals who are helping with his mission of rescuing the living beings, Krishna wants to empower them. So by him empowering them, then whoever is observing is seeing, oh, Krishna has his favorites here. He's partial to the devotees. But it is that they are aligning with his own mission. Arjuna was aligning with Krishna's mission on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. Of course, initially he was confused about his duty because he was affected by material compassion and he was affected by the platform of mundane morality, the rules of family. No one is meant to kill family members. He's going to go to hell. The natural law that if I kill those that are dear and I win any kingdom, there will be no enjoyment without them. So all of it made sense. Scripture says those who destroy the family dynasty, they make way for corruption in society. Because then, once the men are killed, then the women are unprotected, then whatever rascal men are left behind, they will corrupt the womanliness, and then there will be unwanted children. Unwanted children have no samskaras, no purificatory rites are performed, so they are really just a little off the pious path. And so they will create further havoc. So on one level, Arjuna was right, correct, yes, these are true. But Krishna introduced a higher platform to act in devotion, to act to please him. That is spiritual activity. We are created to cooperate with Krishna. And because Arjuna accepted Krishna as his guru, and I'm ready to act as you instruct me, he fought on behalf of Krishna. Krishna protected him. Duryodhana, on the other hand, although Krishna is also giving him life, food, water, he's got friends and family, he has a whole kingdom, Krishna was equal to him in that to protect him from his Adamic ways, he had to disempower him. He can't win this war because he cannot lead the people on the right path. And so, complete disempowerment is to kill the brother. Just take his body away from him. And kill whoever else has sided with him. We are stopping them from doing more and more irreligious activity. Srila Prabhupada mentions that the Lord can kill the demoniac by engaging any other agent. He doesn't have to personally deal with them in that way. That his main mission is to please his devotees. And this is what the Brahmanas are attesting to here. That you have appeared at this sacrifice to benedict us. It's not that there's anything that you need. You're not attracted by all the gold and the ghee, but you are attracted by devotion. And so, because you have been seen by us, you have bestowed upon us the most valuable benediction. To see Krishna also is not a matter of just having working eyeballs. Krishna says, Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena, that the eyes that are smeared with the salve of devotion, they are able to reveal him, Yam Shama Sundam Achintya Guna Swarupam. He who is Achintya, inconceivable, he can be seen in his Shama Sundar form, original form, by those eyes of the Shantas, Shanta Sadaiva Hridaya Subilokayant. So devotion, pure devotion, reveals Krishna in his original feature. Take Duryodhana again. When there was still negotiations that should this war happen or not, Yudhishthira sent Krishna as an envoy to Duryodhana. Krishna came to Duryodhana's palace and told him, Duryodhana, I know that your thirst for being the emperor is very high, but you should consider that the Pandavas also are princes and they need to rule. That you should divide the kingdom into half and give them the other half to rule. Duryodhana was not interested in that. Instead, he thought, this Krishna, he favors these Pandavas. I need to get him on my side. So he cooked an elaborate feast and thought that Krishna would be swayed to his side by the smell of all the ghee cooked preps. Yes, many a man and woman have been coerced to change their opinions simply by being provided a good meal. Yes, as you are tasting all of this, then the preposition comes. So we were thinking that, yes. Yeah, maybe if you can just, I hear you. Because he's agreeing with the taste of the food, he tends to agree also with the suggestions that are being given. Yes, when people want favor, they say, you must come home, you must come home. Sometimes you may need actual money, donation to do something else, but one way not to give someone anything, you don't want to give them money, just you invite them and give them a meal. Just be satisfied with the good subject. And that you must. So he thought like that, I'll give him a feast. Anyway, he's a cowhead boy, he doesn't know some of this royal type of preps. Krishna said, well, one accepts food when he's distressed, and also one accepts food from one they have affection for. I'm neither distressed nor do I have any particular affection for you. So then Duryodhana thought, okay, arrest this Krishna. He thought he was going to grab Krishna and tie him up, imprison him. So it said then Krishna manifested his universal form. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, thumb size, all these forms that came out. And so Duryodhana and his family saw this universal form. He was a bit perturbed, afraid, what is this? And he thought, okay, wow, he's a powerful person, I can't really arrest him. But he didn't think, oh, now I should worship him. No. He's got a bit of mystic power, I couldn't arrest him. Then I'd have to just kill them on the battlefield. So he saw Krishna, he saw his universal form, but it did not awaken devotion within him. Did not wake devotion. Instead, it increased his enmity in that he thought I need better strategies to take care of this Keshava because he seems to have some mystic power. In Chaitanya Bhagavat, we hear of a devotee by the name of Mukunda. So Mukunda, he sang very beautifully. Lord Chaitanya never missed his kirtan. He loved his singing. But somehow Mukunda, during the Mahaprakash Leela, when Lord Chaitanya was showing his divine position to the devotees and reminding them of their previous lives and interactions and giving them benedictions, the devotees noticed that he did not call Mukunda. Mukunda was sitting behind the curtain, and Srivas Thakur then thought, my Lord, your devotee Mukunda is here, but he's afraid to come before you and see you, waiting on you to call him. We know that he is such a wonderful devotee and you love him. So how come you're not calling him to come and see you? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in an angry mood, he said, this Mukunda is a pretender. Everyone was shocked. Pretender? He's such a wonderful Vaishnava, humble, sings so nice. He said his policy is that he has one hand on my feet and one hand on my throat. He's a deceiver. Huh? Touching my feet, showing humility, worshipping me, on the other side, trying to choke me out and kill me. A very drastic contrast. So the devotees, all ears. Srivas Thakur continued, my Lord, you know everything, so you enlighten us. What has he done that you are neglecting him like this? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, well, when he's with the Mayavadis, he's hearing Yoga Vasishta, and he's also commenting and supporting this understanding that the Supreme Lord is impersonal, Niraka. So this is, on one hand you've got a garland, on the other you've got a stick. The devotees, they do the garland, they put the garland on the Lord. The stick is for what? Beating someone. So whoever speaks or hears Mayavad philosophy, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says it's like he's beating me. So he's a shapeshifter. According to the association he's in, he's very agreeable to all of this. Whatever's going on there, he's agreeable. And so I don't want to see him. Mukunda was suffering, crying, shedding tears. He told Shivas, Mahaprabhu, tell him, I don't want to see his face. So Mukunda was thinking, if the Lord won't allow me to see him, then what is the use of staying alive? I shall commit suicide and end my life. So he asked Shivas, you please ask him, is there any chance that I will be able to see him? Lord Chaitanya was saying, for his offenses, maybe definitely he will see me after millions of lifetimes. And Mukunda, when he heard that, he started to celebrate. Jai, I will see him, I will see him, I will see him. Continuing to cry in love of God. The devotees were shocked. Millions of lifetimes he's celebrating. Lord Chaitanya heard that he was crying and celebrating in ecstasy. He told Shivas Thakur, call Mukunda, tell him, bring him here, bring him here. When Shivas tried to get him, he could not even hear what Shivas was proposing. He was in such ecstasy. I will see him, I will see him. So they literally had to drag him before Lord Chaitanya. Lord Chaitanya said, Mukunda, you are always my eternal servant. Just by your intense desire to see me, and that you completely accepted my words, that in 10 million lifetimes you will see me, you have nullified all so-called offenses by your devotion, by your chastity. That for you, whatever I say is fact. And in this way, the Lord took him back into his company. And it is said, Padma Purana says, one who is blind, he cannot see anything whether you put a mirror in front of him or you put a torch to help him. He cannot see anything. So in a similar way, one without devotion to the Lord, without devotional service, Lord Krishna, Lord Vishnu cannot be seen, even if standing before somebody. So this desire to see the Lord and actually feeling benedicted by the presence of the Lord is only experienced by those who have devotion. Others may see the Lord with their eyeballs, but they don't see him as the reservoir of all benedictions. They don't see him as the Supreme Lord. They estimate him according to their consciousness. Kalayavana. He's attacking Mathura. And Lord Krishna thinks, well, Jarasandha is also going to do the same, so let me just protect the residents by walking away. And Kalyavana is following Krishna. He's cursing Krishna out, you rascal, you're running from battle, stand and fight. And it's explained he could not catch up to Krishna, who was walking away and he was running. He still couldn't catch up with Krishna because of his sinful disposition. That creates like a wall between the living being and the Supreme Lord. The Supreme Lord is complete transcendence, pure. And one who still has a sinful heart, he cannot actually come in touch with the Lord. So that is the Lord's equality, is that he is responsible for everyone, but he's not just simply neutral and impartial, but he is reciprocal. He responds to the attitude of whoever approaches him. So like the criminals are praying outside the house, oh God, we want to rob this house, but just make sure these people don't wake up and that the alarm doesn't work so we can rob this place. The person in the house, before going to bed, they were praying, dear God, protect my house, my family, my property. Sometimes it seems that the robbers can't break into the house, they fail. And sometimes the robbers can break in and steal. So the Lord is somehow or the other fulfilling some prayers and sometimes not. Man proposes, God disposes. Everybody gets something from the Lord. So he's like a desire tree. But he is particularly reciprocal and pays attention to those who are his devotees. So that is our mission. We want to be counted as friends, because then it's so intimate. Then it says, one who renders service unto me in devotion is a friend. Can you estimate what is to be Krishna's friend? It's big time. And so intimate is he is in me. He is in me. Generally the Lord is there in the heart of everyone, but because our consciousness is flowing outward to material desires, we don't see him in our own hearts. It's actually so sad. I think of it. When I do remember, Krishna is in my heart. I mean, this is amazing. But I just live my life as though it's me and my desires and whatever. And when life kind of gives you a gut punch, then you start to be meditative. Oh yes, the Lord in my heart. But here he's saying, that person is in him, not that Krishna is he is in me. And I'm also a friend to him. So this is our desire. And so these brahmanas could recognize that. Now that we've seen you, Nija Purusha Ikshana Vishaya. Because you've been seen by us, you have bestowed upon us the most valuable benediction, which is Krishna consciousness, devotional service. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Hari Bol.
Maybe I should ask you questions. So, what makes Krishna not just neutral and passive? Bhakti, okay. It's a one size fits all. Like bhakti is always good. Yes, it's true. Yeah, bhakti. But what is it in his behavior? I just mentioned at the end now, that makes him not just simply neutral. Because if he was just neutral to everyone, then he's just passive the whole time. What's the use of someone who's just everything for him is not? what shows him to be not just neutral.
That he cares for his devotees a lot.
Okay, as they surrender, he rewards them accordingly. So, okay, it's reciprocal. He shows particular care for his devotees. Like Arjuna, there's a Brahmin in South India who cannot read the Bhagavad Gita properly, but he's weeping. What is he seeing that is making him cry, get this realization? Okay, it's Sanskrit Bhattavatsala, but in what way? What's this Bhattavatsala that he's showing? Yeah, Krishna Prabhupada knows everything. Somebody else. If you were watching him, he gave the answer. What did Krishna do to show special favor? That this Brahmana is just, he can't, this is just making him weep.
He was coming from Arjuna.
What did Krishna do for Arjuna?
Arjuna?
Yes.
You were speaking about this Brahman.
So the Brahmana, he cannot read Bhagavad Gita, he's illiterate.
Yes.
But then he seems to be in ecstasy, crying tears.
Yes.
And Mahaprabhu meets him, and he confesses, I cannot read. So he's curious, and if you can't read this text, how are you so affected that you are crying? So what is it that he's affecting him?
Krishna's words.
He cannot read.
Yeah, but he thinks of Krishna. He's so emotional.
Not in this case, he cannot read. But there's something that he can do, that he's seeing something. Okay, there's a clue. Bhagavad Gita, you've seen the picture in Bhagavad Gita. What's happening there?
Krishna is becoming the servant of Arjuna.
And what service is he rendering? Chariot driver. So, Uber driver, Bolt driver, not so glorious a thing. What to speak of chariot driver? It's very low class type of, nobody acknowledges, it just drives a powerful horse carriage. So this Brahman is thinking, the Supreme Lord. He's taking such a low service for his devotee. How much he cares and loves his devotees, and this is warming his heart, that he's weeping. That such a person is Krishna. Yeah. So that is to the point that Krishna is particularly affectionate and he's reciprocating. For Arjuna's love and service, Krishna is willing to take that position. So he's not just neutral, he's also taking the responsibility to help us improve. So sometimes Krishna seems to put obstacles in our lives, and we wonder, hey, but now I'm chanting Hare Krishna, I'm initiated, isn't life supposed to just be smooth sailing now? But Krishna is putting the obstacles to strengthen us, to give us deeper realization, to help us depend on him more. If we fail to depend on him, then okay, he's not ready. He will sort of fall back, and Krishna will try some other way to pick us up. Yes.
Thank you so much. Yesterday I had a discussion if Krishna takes away all the sins of a devotee or not. And as you mentioned, right now he's giving extra burdens so the devotee could really surrender to Krishna more. But of course we have to know that actually if we face problems, it's probably our karma because we are not so devoted yet. So how to understand it, or what would be your opinion? Is Krishna really take away all your sins and he just leaves you what you need? Or Is there still some karma?
So he has said something interesting, right? Just surrender unto me,
Yes.
give up or abandon all forms of. I shall protect you from all sinful reactions, do not fear. So there is some sinful reactions definitely we've performed, that's why we're here. And Krishna is saying when you surrender to him, then he will take care of whatever is sneaking up to catch you. But how he'll take care, that's now Krishna's business. Some sinful reaction is supposed to hit you at 1,000 volts. Maybe Krishna makes it hit you at 40 volts. So he is basically unplugging the fan of karma, material karma. That's the example given. The fan is moving, and then you unplug it, still it will continue to move because there's a momentum that has been generated, but it is already slowing down. So surrender to Krishna is, our material karma has already been stopped, but there's still some residual effects of our previous activities, and now Krishna is willing to administer it in a way that will inspire us and keep us in good consciousness. It's interesting. Yes, ma'am.
Can you explain connection between enthusiasm and devotion? And can devotion come before enthusiasm in some cases? Or you mentioned devotion.
Sri Rupa Goswami, he gives these three Utsaha being first, enthusiasm, confidence, and then patience. These are the first 3 in 6 that he lists that guarantee pure devotional service, that it will be successful. So devotion is there in the heart of everyone. It's just that it may be covered to different degrees. So one can be awakened to devotional service in 4 ways, Krishna says. Because of distress, they come and start service. They're inquisitive, they desire money, or they want knowledge. So there can be enthusiasm there for getting money, let me go to God. Enthusiastic to find out, to get more knowledge, or to get rid of one's distress. In all cases, for any activity to actually take good effect or have some traction, some enthusiasm must be there. So although devotion is there, it's not passive, that you just sit, but there must be some activity behind it, and activity necessarily means some enthusiasm. Some enthusiasm. And the more there's knowledge of the goal or the attainment, then more enthusiasm to act in devotion. So it is again that thing, I love you, I love you. Yeah, I hear you, but do something. You can't just tell me you love me all day and you're doing nothing. So like that. The person may be speaking the truth they love, but the love can't be seen if you're not acting in some way. So devotional service combines the devotional sentiment with some practical activity, which is driven by some enthusiasm. It's one type of connection maybe. Yes? Okay. Yesterday it was, okay, he's not here today, it's all about the time, okay, yes.
Yeah, it's true, the time is over, so...
okay, you
yeah,
decide. Should we grant or it's follow the Swiss time?
Take one more.
One more. All right.
So, when family tradition is destroyed, then Arjuna said that everything will degrade, and the war happened, and the family tradition got destroyed, and people got degraded, right? So, and it's Krishna's will. And why is it that this has to happen for the benefit of the living entities, that they have to degrade in this way?
Well, it was avoided, the degradation, because Yudhishthira was enthroned. So although so many men were killed there, but because Raja Rishi was installed as a king, then Dharma was there to protect. Because it said signs of a pious civilization are that the women, the children, the elderly, the brahmanas. Who's number 5?
Cows.
Cows. Wow, such a horrible thing, forgot the cow. Yes, and the cows. If they are protected, then society is healthy and progressive. And so that's the business of a saintly king, to see that these are protected. So in that case, it didn't come to degradation of society. However, Krishna doesn't need us to be degraded. No, he wants us to be always Krishna conscious. It's just that for us, we mentioned stick, that when we are becoming animalistic, the only language we can understand is suffering, pain, stick. So when someone's degraded, they suffer. And when you suffer, you start to ask important questions.
There's some water.
Why am I suffering? Who created this world? How come others seem to be happy? Is there a place where I can stop my suffering? Then the Lord gives the answers, supplies devotees, prasadam, something you will hear that will take you towards liberation.
But so this degradation that Krishna has to give us is only limited to the human form of body. No? If you're an animal, you're suffering, but you cannot think of it. So how comes?
Yeah, by degradation that Krishna gives us, what do you mean?
Like, as you told, sometimes we have to suffer a lot to be able to think of, why am I here and I want to leave this world? But if you're like an insect or something, they suffer, but
they cannot do anything about it, really. They can just deal with maybe hunger and try to build some home if you're a bird, or this or the other. But the human being, suffering can be an impetus for deeper introspection in spiritual. Sometimes, even people are suffering heavily, you think it will trigger some higher thoughts, but no, it doesn't. So, it's good association can help someone who's suffering answer the question of why he's suffering correctly and do something about it.
Because we can see the light when you are in darkness.
Yes, there's also that, yes. So thank you. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaur Premanande.
Savyasaci Prabhupada.
I was bringing this in, I never use it. Can you imagine Krishna? That everyone is depending on him to have the whatever life they want, you know. Some blame him, some ignore him, some insult him, some try to serve him. But still, he remains dutiful to everybody.
I just wonder sometimes, like, how comes that a living entity has to degrade so much that it doesn't feel anything anymore? So one point was that maybe because the living entities, they will always take birth in forms that are more elevated, like the animals.
There's always an exit strategy. Still, Krishna cares so much that, okay, you want to forget me. Then I'll give you a body or a place where your forgetfulness will increase. But he still doesn't leave the heart. He's still going to give knowledge, remembrance. It's just that this time he's giving forgetfulness because that's what we want. Also, he's so kind that even in the so-called suffering, the actual jiva is not harmed. You know? It's just his false ego thinking that he's that body, therefore he suffers like this. Yes.
So do you also think that all these, for example, very low animals, they actually come from Brahma Jyoti and they slowly start to exist again? Because I cannot imagine that you have a consciousness like one cell or whatever as a human being and then you fall down like this.
Yeah, it's not just a big jump from Brahma to one cell organism.
Yeah.
Yes, it's like the more you are.
So everyone is.
Yeah.
It's big. Yeah, thank you. I have some other points actually, but you can chant also. Don't want to bother you.
It's tempting, huh? Do we answer the question or do we chant? Let's try one.
This is kind of technical one. You were telling that Duryodhana was seeing this universal form, but Krishna is, as in the Bhagavad we hear that actually Arjuna was the first one who saw this form, and
Yeah.
is it another form?
Yeah, Duryodhana also was shown as the Mahabharata, but you know the grand universal form was shown to Arjuna. The one to Duryodhana, he said, you know, was thumb-sized creatures, and so like that. Just Krishna wanted to kind of jolt him into maybe he'll do the right thing, but he just thought, okay, it's wartime. Duryodhana. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, 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 Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Ram, Ram 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 Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, 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 Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram Krishna Krishna